Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah and I wanted to welcome all of you to another episode of The Road to Riches, an Amateur's Investment Journey here on my YouTube channel. If you're not familiar with this series on my YouTube channel, I basically take leftover money that I have at the end of every single month and I put it into the market. Basically, I show you where I am putting my money, where I am investing it, and hopefully the purpose of this is to show you how easy it is to actually build long-term wealth. With that being said, let's review our returns for July, and then I will show you my plans for August. So quickly, as a little review, we have been doing pretty well overall. This is I think maybe my 10th month consecutively putting money into this portfolio for this series. And there have not been many instances where the stocks that I am, or the ETFs mainly that I am investing in, have underperformed. So basically, I did a little bit of calculations to see how historically these ETFs or these investments that I'm making should be performing on a month-to-month basis. And every time we saw green at the end of each month, it basically meant that we were either at schedule, basically we were at what I would have expected, or we were above it. In some rare cases, we did see red, and you can probably see on the screen right now, there's a little bit of red here as well, which I'm going to get into. But generally speaking, these investments have been performing above what I would have expected them to. So as far as the red goes right here, this was something that I did a little bit differently for July. So up until June, at the end of June, I had been basically steadfast on investing all of my money, basically about $1,400 at the end of every single month, into VOO, and this has been really a staple in this portfolio, and I think there's a lot of data to support why that would be. It's just it's been around a long time. The returns are consistent, it's predictable, and so on. But I saw an opportunity for my July episode, and that was basically to add another investment option into my portfolio, and this time it was going to be an individual stock, and that stock was NVIDIA. NVIDIA at the time, prior to that, had recently done a stock split, so the stock price for an individual share was a lot cheaper than it was, which is really enticing to get new investors on board. And I took this opportunity to purchase 11 shares at the time for $123 for each share, right around $1,400 for the total for that month. So I didn't put money into VOO like I usually do. And essentially right now, I was projected to have, for those returns to equate to $1,415, but currently at the time, at the start or at the end of July, we were sitting at about, $1,180. So there was not, it did not meet my target expectation, hence the reason we're seeing a little bit of red here. But there has been some things transpiring within the market recently. A lot of red basically, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all of my stocks are, going to be red, because even though the stock price might be down on a given day or a given week, it doesn't negate the fact that these investments have been performing above average or above what I would have expected for the previous months. So in this example, unfortunately, we do have a little bit of red, so it kind of takes us off track a little bit, but I don't foresee this being any kind of issue long term. So now the question, of course, is what am I going to invest in for this August episode? And I'm going to get into that right now. So here we are in the Charles Schwab dashboard for this portfolio, specifically for this series. And as you can see, I'm not going to go into all of the details, but there's a lot of red, right? There's a lot of red here, and this is the day change and price change and so on. But if you look here, the gain and loss, and this is basically the overall view of these investments, is still green, right? So they were performing, like I just previously mentioned, they were performing above what they were expected to. So even though we have a day change of a loss, it doesn't necessarily mean that the entire, all of the investments are scrapped. Now, certainly NVIDIA, I purchased in, if you recall, at about $123, and currently the market value is, let's see, like $100 a share, right? So not that good overall, but it's not something that, like I said, I'm too worried about. So what I'm actually going to do for the month of August, right? This episode here is I am going to commit a little bit more to what I did for July. So I am going to go in with 14 shares, as you can see right here, on NVIDIA again. And the reason I'm doing this, and this might be something that you question right now as well, where we know that the price had dropped, right, quite a bit. I bought, as you probably recall, at $123 per share, and I bought maybe 11 shares. And here you can see that the share price is 103, right? So why would I be buying more of something that had currently lost me money? And this kind of comes down to the way that I'm interpreting the market overall, where even though the price of it has gone down, within the last week or so, 2 weeks, whatever it may be, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to reflect what we're going to see in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, and so on. So I'm going to go more in on this, and I think it's going to be actually a pretty good investment, because I think I'm getting kind of a deal, right? If I'm buying in at 103 in however many years, if it goes up to 200 and 250, that's a pretty, those are pretty good returns. And like I said, just because a stock is down at any given time doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stay down. And NVIDIA isn't a new company. They've been around, over 20 years at this point. And I don't want to get into, everything that they do and so on, but I definitely am confident that the products that they sell are going to be relatively valuable. So I am going to go in on 14 shares, like I said, and I'm going to buy at the market value tomorrow morning. Total estimated price is just under the amount of money that I have available in this account at this moment, and I'm going to complete this transaction. So here you can go over your order as well. You can see, buy 14 shares of NVIDIA at market day, reinvest dividends, always reinvest dividends, especially if you are if you're getting into the investment game relatively early in life. You can see, how much it's going to cost and yada, yada, yada. Not too important. Make sure that you have enough money to purchase them, obviously, and then you can place your order right down here. And there it is, order received. So tomorrow morning, as soon as the market opens, those shares are going to be purchased and they are going to be added to this portfolio. But there you go. That is my explanation and my review of where my portfolio is kind of at currently after the month of July, and what I plan on doing for August here. As always, I hope you were able to take something away from this video. Like I said, the main point in this series really on my YouTube channel here is to show you how easy it is to, have some skin in the game, right? Get involved with investing to build long-term wealth. And I'm really excited to see where this series takes me in the next, 5 years or however long I decide to do YouTube. But I have no intention of stopping this series, so I think it'll be really interesting to see where I end up. As always, if you've stuck along this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time today. And as always, happy financing.